It is a stormy Friday afternoon for some folks, especially across southern and eastern Kentucky. We're going to be tracking these thunderstorms into the weekend as well, but a nice fall feel is coming. I'll break it all down for you.
It's just a sad day. It's a sad day for Laurel County.
A man convicted in the shooting death of his girlfriend is a free man tonight. How her mother is keeping her voice alive.
And a woman is in jail accused of shooting her husband. Why deputies say she ambushed him when he got home.
This is WKYT News at 4.
Welcome to WKYT News at 4. I'm Andrea Walker alongside Amber Philpott. We have seen a few showers rolling across central and southern Kentucky today.
But it is somewhat sunny skies here in Lexington right now, just in time for the start of high school football tonight. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell has a look at what you should expect for kickoff. Hi, Jim.
Yeah, we're going to be tracking those showers and thunderstorms, and not everybody gets wet, but I think the better chances will be to our south. I'll check that in just a second for you, but as we are looking on our Defender radar network, there you see that most of central Kentucky fine at this point, but the activity is still showing up to our south and east. You go along I-75 into London, you go back over towards Somerset, some heavier rounds of rain passing through that area. Let's move a little more toward the east because that's where you're going to find even more showers and thunderstorms, a little bit of lightning flashing with these. Not an intense area of thunderstorms by any stretch of the imagination. And it is high school football time once again all across Kentucky. Around kickoff to our south especially, small chance of rain, temperatures in the low 80s, humidity levels still high though, and you can see by the end of the game most of the rain drying up some, and then we're talking about partly cloudy skies at that point. Now tomorrow there are several Saturday night games, as there usually are when the season begins. Those might be a little bit different because we could be dealing with widespread thunderstorm chances. We'll track that coming up in just a few minutes.
Jim, thank you. She says the punishment doesn't fit the crime. Today, a man convicted in his then-girlfriend's death is a free man.
A Laurel County jury found 30-year-old Christopher Byrd guilty last week of reckless homicide in the July 2015 shooting death of 22-year-old Shannon Ingle. A judge sentenced him to 1 year, but with time served, Byrd was able to walk out of court today. Hillary Thornton talked to Ingle's mother in our top story at 4.
The judge going with the jury's recommendation of a 1-year sentence, and with more than 400 days already spent behind bars, Christopher Byrd walking out of the Laurel County Courthouse here behind me, a free man.
Byrd has been out of custody since his trial wrapped up last week. The 30-year-old convicted of reckless homicide for the July 2015 shooting death of his then-girlfriend, 22-year-old Shannon Ingle. The jury was given the option to choose a conviction of intentional murder, wanton murder, manslaughter second degree, or reckless homicide. The jury could also have acquitted Byrd with a not guilty verdict, however, ultimately convicting him of reckless homicide. On that charge, the jury recommending a 1-year sentence. Today before the sentencing, Ingle's mother looking over pictures of her daughter. While Byrd did not speak in court, Ingle's mother did. A special judge from outside of Laurel County handling the sentencing, saying he cannot give any more time than the recommendation of 1 year with credit for time already served.
He may have escaped justice on this earth, but there is a God that he cannot run from. And I most definitely know that I have never had an apology from this man at all, period, whatsoever.
Rambo says even though the case is finished, she does plan on continuing to be a voice for domestic violence victims and working to strengthen laws concerning EPOs. In Laurel County, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Now, just a few months before the deadly shooting, Byrd was charged with assault after he admitted to police that he punched Ingle in the face. Ingle's mother says her daughter also filed an EPO, but since neither showed up to the court case, it was dismissed.
A Jackson County woman is in jail this afternoon accused of shooting her husband. The sheriff's office says 66-year-old Brenda Strohmeyer is charged with assault. Deputies say they were called to a home on Privet Road in McKee for a shooting there, and they found William Strohmeyer in his vehicle with a gunshot wound to the arm. He told deputies his wife shot him as he and another woman walked into the home. They believe she had been hiding in the bathroom. Deputies believe Brenda Strohmeyer shot her husband because she thought he was having an affair. William was treated and released from a hospital in Laurel County. New this afternoon, state police say a man is in the hospital after being shot at his Perry County home. Troopers say they found Melvin Shane Gross inside his home on West Kentucky 80. Gross had been shot in the face. Troopers believe Gross had just stepped outside his home when he was shot. He was taken to Pikeville Medical Center. We do not know his condition right now. Troopers have not made any arrests.
The search for a missing Northern Kentucky woman is expected to continue this weekend. 35-year-old Crystal Warner and her boyfriend, 28-year-old Bobby Jones, disappeared last month after checking on a tenant in Washington County. A search company has been using an app called Measure Map around the I-64 corridor in central Kentucky. Jones's body was found earlier this month in Clark County. The director of Texas EquiSearch says the couple's car was spotted in Winchester before the car was found abandoned in Georgetown. Search crews say they will likely start focusing their search on the westbound I-64 corridor and head south. The tenant they were checking on when they disappeared, Craig Pennington, has been charged with murder.
Now to some stories making headlines across the nation at 4. Donald Trump dominating the news of the day once again.
The Republican candidate released an attack ad toward flooded Louisiana, and its campaign chairman quit. Stacey Cohan has the story.
The Donald Trump campaign is having quite a day. Trump and running mate Indiana Governor Mike Pence traveled to Louisiana to examine flood damage and to speak with residents.
They need a lot of help. What's happened here is incredible. Nobody understands how bad it is. It's really incredible. So I'm just here to help.
And his campaign released its first television ad of the general election cycle, which will air in several battleground states and stream online.
In Hillary Clinton's America, the system stays rigged against Americans.
All this as a major staff shakeup continues to make headlines. Earlier this week, Trump elevated Breitbart News leader Steve Bannon and GOP pollster and strategist Kellyanne Conway to leadership positions. Now, campaign chair Paul Manafort has resigned. Manafort was involved in the firing of Trump's last campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski.
It's about the candidate whose name is on the door and who's running for president of the United States, having that comfort level with the people who are closest to him and making sure that they're allowing him to run the type of campaign and the overall strategy that is going to be most effective.
The Trump campaign must find its footing quickly. The first debate is just over a month away, and the November election draws ever closer. In Washington, I'm Stacey Cohan reporting.
Some central Kentuckians are heading to Louisiana to help those affected by flooding. The Red Cross is calling the disaster the worst since Superstorm Sandy. A Paris woman who will be leaving soon for Louisiana says she will help clean up homes damaged by the high water. Judy Kendall will be in Louisiana for 9 days. She tells us she plans on bringing a lot of hope to the family she meets next week.
People don't realize, because when we get there, a lot of times they feel like they've been forgotten. And why has this happened?
Kendall is traveling to Louisiana with about 20 other volunteers. She estimates the Kentucky Baptist Disaster Relief Organization will end up sending close to 75 volunteers.
Florida officials say 5 new Zika infections believed to have been transmitted by mosquitoes have turned up in the Miami area. Governor Rick Scott says the area includes most of South Beach. He says 2 of the cases in Miami Beach involve Miami-Dade County residents and 3 involve tourists from New York, Texas, and Taiwan. Another infection zone was previously identified in Miami's Wynwood Arts District.
Fayette County's newest high school is still a year from opening, but it already has a principal. Superintendent Manny Kalk announced today that Lester Diaz will be the principal at the new school being built off Winchester Road. The unnamed school is set to open in 2017. It will be the county's 6th high school and the first one in 25 years. Diaz has been the principal at Bryan Station Middle School since 2012. Coming up on WKYT News at 6, we'll hear from Diaz about his goals for the new school. School is in session, which means high school football is back. Many teams across the region will be kicking off the season tonight. WKYT is at the doubleheader in Scott County. We will catch up with our very own Rob Bromley there on WKYT News at 5.
Could headphones be a thing of the past for Apple's next iPhone? Some of the rumors surrounding the new phone coming up in Money Watch.
And you might want to check your bank account if you've shopped at Eddie Bauer lately. What information thieves could have stolen next.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Welcome back. If you shopped at an Eddie Bauer store in the first half of 2016, you may want to keep a close eye on your personal and banking information.
That begins today's Money Watch. We've learned today that all of Eddie Bauer's North American stores were targeted by credit card thieves this year. The company announced this week that it found and removed malware from registers at about 350 stores. The clothing store believes debit and credit cards used at its stores between January and July 17th this year may have been compromised, but online purchases would not have been affected.
The New York Times is ditching its NYT Now app. It was launched in 2014 and was targeting a younger audience by offering brief content, but the company says it never quite took off as they hoped. Initially, it cost $8 a month and was later offered for free. The Times said the move is driven mainly by a shift toward focusing on Facebook and Twitter as tools for reaching millennials.
Uber is launching public trials of fully self-driving cars in Pittsburgh this month. Volvo and Uber are teaming up together in a $300 million deal to create the vehicles. So far, there are 6 self-driving cars being tested in Pittsburgh. They plan to have 100 on the road by the end of 2016. According to a new survey, 48% of Americans are willing to try out self-driving cars.
Best Buy is turning 50, and to celebrate, they're giving customers a deal. Best Buy is offering 50 deals for 50 hours. The deals run through 1 a.m. on Sunday, August 21st. You can find discounts on everything from MacBooks to TVs and appliances. Best Buy opened its first store in St. Paul, Minnesota on August 22nd, 1966.
We may be getting a sneak peek of Apple's newest iPhone. A French website claims it has obtained the schematics of the iPhone 7. According to the site, the schematics do not show a headphone jack at the bottom of the phone like the one you see here. Instead, Apple will supposedly put a second speaker in that spot. Apple has not commented on the report. They are expected to unveil the new phone, though, next month.
I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about at Drake's today, where they're getting ready for Saloon Saturdays, kicking things off with this guy, Walker Montgomery. More when we return here on WKYT.
And storm chances are set to increase as we head into the weekend. A frontal boundary that's going to change everything for us will arrive, and that means a fall-like feel is coming behind it. We'll break it all down coming up for you.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
Showers, thunderstorms are still working their way through the area again today, and we'll have widespread chances tomorrow. But once we get past that, I promise it's going to be worth it. Right now in Lexington, you can see the clouds are hanging out with us. A little mix of sunshine as well, for some of us at least. Not dealing with any rain here in the area, and we're sitting at 81 degrees with a 84-degree feels-like temperature. Why? Because 69% relative humidity out there. Humidity levels are very high, and they have been. But over the past several days, we have been able to avoid that major heat because the temperatures have stayed down because of clouds and showers and storms working through the area. You can see across Kentucky, low and mid-70s, low 80s, and even in London, where it is pouring the rain, 69 degrees currently there. With more rounds of showers and storms kind of working through that area, you got more rain that will be crossing over from Pulaski County into London here very soon, and maybe even some more heavier activity. Same thing coming for you folks there into Mount Vernon with a good little steady shower. Maybe a little pocket of some heavier stuff from time to time. Same thing into eastern Kentucky. We go into Hazard to Jackson. One little pocket of heavy rain almost sitting right over downtown at this point, and then more into Knott County as well. Expand our view, and we are going to see the game changer for us. It's a frontal boundary hanging out to our west, and you can see the area of low pressure that's going to drag it all the way across Kansas, Missouri, and into Kentucky by the end of the weekend, and our atmosphere will be a completely different place here. A different feel, a different look. Everything is going on the positive side of things. Hour by hour run, we go through the rest of the evening. By later on tonight, things are pretty quiet. So high school football action, at least toward the middle of the game and at the end of the game, you should be in pretty good shape, especially if you're traveling out there to some of those games. Showers and thunderstorms will start to increase by midday tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised to see one or two of these be a little on the strong side, maybe a good little heavy rain producer, some gusty winds, certainly a possibility. And then eventually, as we get late in the day and more so into Sunday, notice there's a cutoff. There's an actual, honest to goodness cutoff of cloud cover showing up in western portions of Kentucky, and it clears here by the time we get through midday on Sunday, and we're at 72 degrees at noon. That is some pretty good stuff. 7-day forecast shows you that our highs are not going to be much better than that. 78 on Sunday. Early chance of rain, and it'll linger a little more into eastern Kentucky. And then for a few days next week, we are doing well with highs in the upper 70s and low 80s and low humidity as well. Good looking forecast there. All right, let's see what it looks like outside with the traffic situation. Here's Officer Don.
Well, a couple of things working right now, including the construction in the Hamburg area, and that's been a problem all day, both on the inner and outer loops of Man-O-War between I-75 over to Todd's Road. It's eased a bit, but it's impacting Sir Barton and that whole area, so that's worth avoiding if you have to head out and can do that. Maybe Liberty Road will help out there. There's also a construction on Citation at Newtown Pike, with Citation closed from time to time for that situation. As far as drive times go, Nicholasville 16 minutes, to Georgetown 16, to Paris about 22. Now back to you in the studio.
You can enjoy another night of live music at Lakeside Live. The concert series continues from 6 to 9 tonight at Lexington Green with Boogie G and the Titanics. You can see Point 7, Ben Lacey, and Alan McKenzie from 6 to 9 tomorrow night. Lakeside Live takes place every Friday and Saturday through October 15th. Well, a young Central Kentuckian is following his heart and his dad's footsteps.
Our Deanne Stevens is out and about today at Drake's to explain. Hey, Deanne.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. We are ready for the weekend. I tell you, Friday's finally here, and we're making big plans to be a part of this brand new thing they're kicking off here at Drake's called Saloon Saturdays, and they're doing it with this guy. Walker Montgomery is with us. I've watched you grow up. You know that? Does that make me old?
Well, no.
Watch what you say. Watch what you say, buddy. Walker Montgomery, the son of John Michael Montgomery, and it was just a few years ago. I was interviewing your dad about the singing sensation that he is, the country music star, and you are following right in his footsteps.
Oh,
this
Lord.
is pretty cool.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm very blessed to be able to have the life that I have.
Yeah.
So I'm just enjoying it right now and singing wherever I can and whenever I can.
Now, you've grown up in this business, and you probably remember your dad playing some places like this and helping businesses kick off like Saloon Saturdays and things like that.
Oh yeah, I remember a bunch of places. Well, he got the first Red, White, and Boom. Even he did that, you know. So I mean, I remember, especially around Kentucky, everything and anything that he did.
And we want you to come support Walker Montgomery. He's going to be playing here tomorrow night, kicking off this brand new thing they're doing here called Saloon Saturdays. Amber Cook is with us with BHG Hospitality, and you guys are so excited about this, bringing country music around here.
We are. Everybody in the Bluegrass State loves country, and so we couldn't be more excited to celebrate country music here and have Walker here to kick off our big event.
Well, this is a big deal for folks to have the opportunity to come hear him. Also, you guys have like all kinds of specials, and I see your country boots you bringing out.
We do. We have boots for everybody, cowgirl and cowboy boots.
I love that. And some great snacks too for the cowboys and cowgirls.
Absolutely.
Okay, things kicking off tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, 9:30, Walker goes on. We'll have a DJ to follow, and then also have a really big country music Lover's Dream prize.
Oh, prizes. We like prizes. Yes. Listen, get on out here to Drake's to see Walker Montgomery take the stage or the fireplace or something around here, right?
Something like that.
And if you hang on at 4:50, he's singing just for you. That's when we return here on WKYT. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about. Get that guitar tuned up, buddy. Back to you guys.
Still ahead, a major health insurance company is cutting many of its plans. We'll tell you who might be affected.
Plus, what starts as a free trial might end up costing you real money. What to watch for next in Better Living.
And tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $61 million, and Saturday night's Powerball jackpot is $110 million.
Now it's time for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. Online sites offer free shipping and discounts to attract customers, but sometimes those offers come with a hidden cost. Julie Watts explains.
For Walt Landers, it was diet pills.
It's like, what the heck is this?
Marilyn Maffley, free shipping.
The dollar total is about $260.
Both were surprised to find what they thought was a one-time purchase was actually a reoccurring subscription.
The average number of subscriptions per person has doubled over 18 months.
Yahya Mokhtarzada is the founder of Truebill, a company that helps users find and cancel subscriptions they've forgotten about, no longer need, or never knew they signed up for to begin with. From software to razor blades, more and more companies are moving to a subscription model. And in some cases, you may not realize you've even subscribed.
Now this is the checkout page.
Yahya points to companies that offer big discounts to so-called VIPs, code for members with subscriptions. Accept the discount, check out, and you may be charged monthly whether you buy something or not.
So what you thought was a $25 purchase actually becomes $50 a month recurring.
Of course, you can cancel any time once you realize you've subscribed, but Yahya says in some cases it's not easy.
There are companies that are sneaky about signing you up for the subscription, and then companies that make it exceedingly difficult to cancel.
Truebill's free service scours your accounts for reoccurring charges and cancels the ones you don't want. Yahya says newspapers and gyms tend to be the hardest to cancel. His advice, pay attention before clicking purchase, or you may pay again and again. Julie Watts for CBS News, San Francisco.
Good advice. You got to be careful. Some people with health insurance under Obamacare will lose their plans next year. Aetna says it's pulling out of the health exchanges set up by the Affordable Care Act in 11 of the 15 states where it currently operates. The company reports it lost $430 million in its individual health care policies since the exchange opened in January 2014. Aetna will only sell Obamacare products in Delaware, Iowa, Nebraska, and Virginia. A new class of diabetes drugs may protect a patient's kidneys. Researchers in the Netherlands studied the oral medications known as SGLT2 inhibitors. They found that in addition to lowering blood sugar, the drugs slowed the decline in patients' kidney function. There is a new warning tonight about the danger of over-the-counter laser pointers. Researchers in Australia tested models that can be bought in stores or online. They found that green lasers were the most dangerous and that the strongest can cause catastrophic damage to the eyes. Now here's what we're working on for WKYT News at 4:30.